Ohio. Baranovichi, the city of regional submission in Belarus, the administrative center of the Baranovichi district of the Brest region, the large railway junction in the direction of Minsk, Brest, Volkovisk, Lida, Lunins and Slutsk. It is located on the Baranovichi plain to entre Rios of Shara and her inflow of Mishanki. Baranovichi is practically on the straight line connecting the regional center Brest, 206 km, and Minsk, 149 km. The nearest towns: Lyakovich, 17 km, Slanim, 42 km, Nesvis, 51 km, Novrodok, 52 km, Gantsvichi, 72 km. Baranovichi lies on quite flat area where the height difference doesn't exceed 20 m. From 180 to 200 m above sea level. City height above sea level is 193 m. City extent -10 km from the west on the east and 7 km from the north on the south. The city is a little extended, on 8 km, in the direction from the southwest, from Brestskaya Street, on the northeast, to Fabriknaya Street, and compressed 6.3 km, in the direction from the north, Sovetskaya Street, on the southeast, Frolinkov Street. The space occupied by the city is equal to 80.66 km, 8066 hectares, on August 12, 2012. Population density makes more than 2,000 people on km. The most northern point of the city, Korlik Street, located to the north of the plant of automatic transfer lines -53 AN, southern of Uznoji, 53 AN. The extreme western point is located near Bodok Street -25 AL, east, around crossing of streets of Egarev and Chestnut -26 AL. The geometrical downtown, Lenin Square. In total in the city about 500 streets and lanes with a total length of 252.8 km, from them arranged well -129.8 km lit -240 km. Baranovichi is characterized by very advantageous geographical location and in this regard represents large knot of the major iron and highways. Here close arrangement of the main gas pipeline, the developed system power and water supply, favorable climate. In the city a number of the large industrial enterprises is located. For January 1, 2019 in Baranovichi 81829 cars are registered. 146,678 full-age inhabitants live in the city. Thus, practically the car is the share of every second citizen. The city of Baranovichi not only one of the largest cities of Belarus on population, the 8th place in the Republic, but also one of the most important industrial, cultural and education centers of Belarus. Baranovichi for the beginning of 2021 has 24 twin cities, among which there is the Russian Mytishchi, Moscow area, Vasilistrovsky district of Street, Petersburg, Magadan, the Finnish Heinola, the Austrian Stockerau, the Polish Biała Podlaska, Shtynia, the county of Silencin, Chinese Chibi, the Italian Ferrara, the Latvian Jelgava, the Ukrainian Poltava, Novolinsk and others. In the second half of the 17th century in Baranovichi the Jesuit mission was placed. In the second half of the 18th century Baranovichi was the property of Masalski and Nezelovsky, and in the 19th century belonged to the Countessy A. Rozvadovskaya. One of the earliest mentions of the village of Baranovichi on maps belongs to 1812. It is marked on the military map made by cartographers of Napoleon's army. The history of the city conducts the counting with 17 on November 29, 1871 when the movement on recently built site of the railroad Smolensk-Brest-Litovsk began. The nearby village of Baranovichi, the first mention of which occurs in A.D. Sinyovskaya's will in 1627, gave a name of the station which arose during construction. Then in 1871, near the station, own locomotive depot appeared. 1874 emergence of the railway junction. The wooden building of the station constructions, not numerous houses in which there lived railroad workers, such were then Baranovichi. The new railroad allowed to connect Moscow with the western outskirts of the country.
The event in May 1884 became a push to more intensive settling of the area adjacent to the station from the south. The Minsk Provincial Board made the decision on the device on landowners' estates of Rozvadovsky of the town which received the name Rozvadovo.
Building of the town was carried out according to the plan, approved as the Minsk governor on May 27, 1884. In the settlement there were 120 houses and there lived 1,500 people.
According to the plans approved by the Emperor Alexander III, it was supposed that here one more railroad, Vilno-Lunenets-Pinsk, exactly will run.
Therefore at the same time in 2.5 kilometers from the station, the Moscow and Brest line of the railroad was crossed by rails of the Vilno-Ravensky direction of the Policia railroads.
At the railway intersection there was one more station, Baranovichi, the Policia railroads, which became the second center of formation of future city.
As well as in the first case, near the station workers, dealers lodged.
There was a new settlement which, unlike Rozvadovo, who became in the unofficial address Old Baranovichi, received the name New Baranovichi.
It developed on the lands belonging to peasants of a number of the villages located near the new station. Svetlovichi, Chirovo, Uznogi. More convenient than on landowners' estates, lease term, proximity of administrative agencies promoted rapid growth of this settlement.
With delivery in 1886 in operation of the line Baranovichi, Volkovisk, Bialystok, Baranovichi turned into the large railway junction.
Rozvadovo. The unofficial name Old Baranovichi and New Baranovichi were united in the town with the general name Baranovichi. On October 6, 1888 in the town of Rozvadovo petty bourgeois management was entered. Gradually Baranovichi became the large railway junction connected with the most important economic centers of the country, the Central and Southwest Russia, Poland, the Baltics. It promoted that the developing settlement drew attention of the Defense Ministry. Near the station Baranovichi of the Policia Railroad's barns, a mill and the Sukharny plant of the Volensky Intendantstvo were constructed. Several battalions of an infantry regiment are placed.
These undertakings of the Defense Ministry and also further development of railway stations demanded more and more labor.
When old town of Rozvadovo and New Baranovichi merged, having formed the uniform town under the general name Baranovichi Rozvadovo, it was peculiar in the administrative relation hall. The town, which had petty bourgeois management, was a part of the Novomishsky Volist, and New Baranovichi was included parts into Novomishsky, Stilovichsky, Yastrembelsky and Darevsky Volists of the Novrudsky county of the Minsk province. In 1894 Baranovichi was a part of the Novrudsky county of the Minsk province.
The population quickly grew in Baranovichi, the industry crafts trade developed.
According to a census of 1897, 18 people lived in Baranovichi. In the city there were 834 buildings, 4 industrial enterprises worked, there were 2 great schools, railway and voluntary societies. The new settlement had pretty considerable sizes, but it was extremely uncomfortable. As the settlement not city, Baranovichi wasn't subordinated to almost any norms, neither in sanitary, nor in construction, nor in fire prevention a relationship.
In the settlement of Baranovichi there were no streets at all. Houses were under construction without any plan, without observance of distances between constructions. Lighting wasn't not only in the settlement, but also in the town.
There were no sidewalks not only, but even any cobbled street and flat squares. There was no fire wagon train even.
On 12,000 of the population there was no parish church, any comprehensive school, any hospital. So characterized Baranovichi in 1903 in the conclusion of the commission created by the Minsk governor on the case of introduction of city situation in Rozvadovo and the settlements adjoining to him.
This attempt to transfer the settlement to the category of the cities ended unsuccessfully. But it didn't stop rapid development of Baranovichi. There were all new small enterprises, the number of workers grew. They, as well as all workers of Imperial Russia, suffered from a difficult economic situation, political lawlessness, national oppression. The earth, very high food prices, kerosene, matches and other essentials was the road in Baranovichi. Participation of workers in the revolution of 1905-1907, which captured the whole country after Bloody Sunday January 9, 1905, was active. During the First Russian Revolution of 1905-1907 in Baranovichi, in December 1905, the large strike of railroad workers took place. Also in the First Russian Revolution in 1905 in Baranovichi there took place workers' protests and the soldier. In 1.5 weeks until the end of 1905, 300 railroad workers directed by the Engineer Social Revolutionary and supported by soldiers of railway crew refused to carry out orders of a management, put the switchboard out of action, stopped train service on this side of the railroad. To suppress a performance, in 3 days from Vilna of the Prophet of Army, and still every other day there arrived the retaliatory expedition of the General Orlov. In the city martial law was imposed, there took place Massachusetts arrests. Within the first decade of the 20th century, Baranovichi became the largest town of the Novrutsky County with the population of 30,000 people, 4 churches, a Roman Catholic chapel, 10 houses of worship, 7 elementary schools, 2 drugstores, theater and Edom movie theater. Here 13 doctors, 6 dentists, 8 midwives, the veterinarian practiced. Before World War I in Baranovichi the brick, 2 sawing, oil milling, iron, saccharni plants, 2 mills and 3 factories of millstones worked free. From the beginning of World War I in Baranovichi large forces of the Russian Imperial Army were deployed. From August 3, 1914 to August 8, 1915 in the city the rate of the Supreme Commander Grand Duke Nikolai Nikolaevich. Around arrangement of railway crew near the station Baranovichi Policia was located where 10 times there came the Emperor Nicholas II. The rate consisted of 2 trains and was based approximately in the place of present stadium of the Baranovichi State University. Baranovichi became the first city of the Russian Empire where the monument to heroes of World War I was established on June 8, 1915. He was born in the 1950th. During retreat of 1915 in September it was occupied by the German troops. In July, 1916 in the suburb of Baranovichi approach of the Russian army took place. However, despite the Massachusetts heroism shown by the Russian army and small tactical success, approach came to the end without results. On January 5, 1919 in Baranovichi the Soviet power was established. On February 6, 1919 Baranovichi was announced by the city and the center of the county of the Minsk province of Bees.
In 1921 under the Riga Peace Treaty the city departed to Poland until 1939 was its part with the status of the center of the county.
County of the Novrutsky Voivodeship. This years in Baranovichi there was a construction of new Orthodox church in honor of the intercession of the Theotokos. Under the leadership of N.
Bruni participating in painting of the Warsaw Cathedral on temple walls. Some mosaic cloths from Warsaw were fixed in Baranovichi.
Among them I was also the part of a mosaic of N.A. Koshalav, Savior with the builder. Savior with the donator. Representing 50, and Benoit holding model of cathedral and also a small fragment of composition of 5, M. Vasnetsov, about you rejoices.
In 1953 because in cathedral mosaics are established, it was announced by an architectural monument and taken under protection by the state.
In 1939 in Baranovichi there were 27.4 thousand inhabitants. Since September 1939, as a result of arrangements between the USSR and Germany on the actual partition of Poland, and the followed approach of the Red Army to Poland, the city of Baranovichi was a part of Bees and since December 4, 1939 became the regional center. Prior to the beginning of the Great Patriotic War in the city and the area unemployment was liquidated, earned schools with training at the Belarusian, Russian, Polish languages and Yiddish. The Drama Theatre, Teachers Institute worked, the Czerwone Zvezda newspaper. A Red Star was issued, the Reeducation developed.
At the same time the population learned lines of the Soviet system unknown earlier.
Cleanings and arrests began.
At the initiative of People's Commissariat for Internal Affairs, Massachusetts, deportations of unreliable citizens, first of all to Kazakhstan and Siberia, were organized.
On June 27, 1941, during the Great Patriotic War, the city was occupied by the German troops. More than 50,000 prisoners of war and civilians were shot and tortured in prisoner of war camp No. 337 near the railway station Lasnaya, near the city.
Germans created the Baranovichi ghetto, where about 30,000 Jews of the city and its vicinities were driven in the city. The population of a ghetto was destroyed in 1942 within the so-called final decision of a Jewish problem.
Near the station Baranovichi Policia in 1942, Hitlerites shot the echelon with Czechoslovak Jews following to Auschwitz. Viktor Voitenko, 1941-1943. And Yuri Sobolevsky, 1943-1944. Were burgomasters of the city. The underground and the district anti-fascist organization worked in the city. During the Great Patriotic War, Baranovichi was strongly destroyed. The city was freed on July 8, 1944 as a result of approach of troops of the Belarusian front and guerrillas of the Baranovichi and Minsk connection on the Baranovichi and Slonim direction. Operation Bagration. This date is celebrated as day of release of the city. Following the results of the first post-war decade in the city, the pre-war level of development was completely restored. About 40 industrial enterprises, artels and workshops worked. Among them Artel, red metalworker. Nowadays the plant of Stankoprnidalschist. The Motorormantny plant. Nowadays Automodeler. Artel, Communard. The former knitting factory. Artel, Rising. Factory of art products, which are one of the largest enterprises of the city today. January 8, 1954, the Baranovichi region was liquidated, and her territory is included in the Brest region. Since May 1954, the city of Baranovichi became the center of Novomishsky district, and since April 1957, the Baranovichi district.
In honor of the 20th anniversary of release of the city of Baranovichi from the German occupation in the summer of 1964, the eternal flame was lit and the release monument is open. In 1970 in Baranovichi there were 102,000 inhabitants, in 2011, 175,000 inhabitants. On May 28, 2011 the city celebrated the 140th anniversary. In Soviet period all main decisions which defined city life were carried up, or were coordinated, by the first secretary of the Baranovichi City Committee of the Communist Party of Belarus, which was a part of the CSU. Below the list of chairmen of the Baranovichi City Executive Committee is provided. 1940-1941 Pikolov, Andrei Petrovich. 07.194406. 1945 Brown, Andrei Fomik. 06.1945 01.1946 Katashev, Fyodor Vasilievich. 01.1946 05.1946 Chernenko, Alexei Vasilievich. 06.1946 01.1948 Gordienko, Andrei Arafanovich. 01.1948 09.1951 Dayev, Nikolai Ilyich. 09.1951 01.1957 Teryak, Vladimir Zinanovich.
02.1957 11.1958 Businessman Mikhail Ivanovich. 12.1958 01.1963 Martian Nikolai Timofeyevich. 02.1963 03.1967 Tereshko Pavel Viktorovich. 03.1967 1969 Sanko Alexei Petrovich. 02.1969 10.1973 Stavrovskaya Inna Arsenievna. 10.1973 10.1988 Akalenko Mikhail Alexandrovich. 10.1988 01.1995 Pubis Nikolai Nikolaevich. 01.1995 06.1997 Zakharchenko Valery Nikolaevich. 06.1997 04.200 Pavlov Mikhail Yakovlevich. 04.200 Ditkovsky Viktor Ivanovich. A crust. Time Gromakovsky Yuri Anatolievich. The average monthly nominal charged wage. To a deduction of income tax and the second part of insurance assignments. In Baranovichi in 2017 was 685.5 rubles. About $345. That is slightly lower than the average salary in the Brest region. 699 rubles.
Baranovichi takes the 39th place on salary level among 129 areas and the cities of regional submission of Republic of Belarus.
In 2019 about 17,000 people were engaged in the industry of the city. The basis of the economy of the city is made by 27 enterprises: machine and machine tool construction, the construction industry, the light and food industry, which deliver the products not only for the enterprises of the Republic, but also to a number of the CIS countries and foreign countries. The industrial enterprises of Baranovichi, the largest city-forming enterprises, are marked in bold. Mechanical engineering industry. Just 558 Aviatsiony Remontny Zavod carries out repair and modernization of military planes and helicopters, development and production of the equipment of radio engineering protection. The Baranovichi Machine Tool Factory. Tiskatland branch. Makes compressors for the Minsk plant of refrigerators, various household appliances.
Just Baranovichi Automodular plant produces the nuts and mechanisms used by production of cars of the Moss family and the Belarus tractors. Just Baranovichi plant of automatic transfer lines releases metal cutting machines, automatic transfer lines, and also carries out delivery of the non-standard equipment for reconstruction of locomotive and carriage depots.
Just Baranovichi plant of Stankaprinadolshist releases the machine equipment. Vice turning cartridges, pneumatic cylinders, electromagnetic tightening heads, rotary tables. Jest Tordmash. The Baranovichi plant of trade mechanical engineering. Makes a wide range of machines and the equipment for the enterprises of Massachusetts food and trade. Jest Baranovichi plant of spare parts Avtako. Chemical industry, the plant of household chemicals of Jest Barchem. Building industry. Plant of construction details and designs. Dorstroimentatov's branch of Jesk. Plant of concrete goods. Stroytresno 25 branch of Jesk. Jest Baranovichi plant of reinforced concrete structures. Kachencemencemencemencemencemencemencemencem branch of Jesk. Jest Baranovichi plant of Sanalakotovka. Food industry. Baranovichi bakery. Berstysky Baker branch of Jask. Zest Baranovichi plant of foodstuff. Zest Baranovichi dairy plant. In 2020, Zest Savushin product without auction for Alexander Lukashenko's order is sold and it is liquidated as the independent legal entity. In 2021, I stopped production of kefir, oil, sour cream, cottage cheese, ice cream. Zest Baranov product. The Baranovichi meatpacking plant. In 2007 it is liquidated as the independent legal entity. It is attached to Berezovsky meatpacking plant. Light industry. Zest Baranovichi Production Cotton Association, the only producer of cotton fabrics in Republic of Belarus. Zest Baranovichi Garment Factory. Zest Baranovichi Shoe Factory. Ichup Branch, Asset Shoes. Woodworking Chup Furniture Factory, Laguna. In 1972-2016 the plant of Senizny Towers worked in the city. Ipropropromstromash. In 1946-2013 the Baranovichi Production Association. The Baranovichi plant of construction details. In 2019 declared bankrupt worked in the city.
Housing stock of Baranovichi for the end of 2017 made 4,431.9 thousand m.
Total area. In 2000 housing stock made 3,289.9 thousand m. In 17 years it increased by 34.7%.
Security of the population with housing in 2017 grew from 19.5 m.
On the person up to 24.7 m. On this indicator Baranovichi took the second place among the large cities of Republic of Belarus after Babruysk.
24.8 m. In the summer of 2017 the average price is 1 m.
The residential real estate in Baranovichi made $478, that is 2.3 times lower than in Minsk, and 26% cheaper in comparison with Brest.
By the beginning of 2019 of housing price in Baranovichi grew to $501 for 1 m.
Among 17 largest cities of the country cheaper housing was only in Babruysk, Mazer, Orsha, Pinsk, Polotsk. The difference in housing prices with Brest grew to 40%. Population of 174,183 people.
On January 1, 2021.
Increase in the population is provided with inflow to the city and construction of new areas. At the moment actively the new area on 20,000 inhabitants of Borovki, southwest, is under construction. In the master plan of the city of Baranovichi construction and other new districts of the city is planned. Dubovo, northern -2, Borovca.
At the end of 2012 the territory of the city included 11 settlements relating earlier to the territory of the Baranovichi district.
Thus the population of the city grew by 7,730 people registered in the included territory at once.
Level of natural increase in the city positive also made plus 0.035% of the general population in 2010.
In 2010, 2137 dead were the share of 2197 newborns. Plus 58. While in 2009, 2157 and 2203 respectively. Minus 46. In 2017 in Baranovichi was born 1984 and 1913 people died. Birth rate coefficient minus 11. 1 on 1,000 people. An average value across the Brest region minus 11.8, across Republic of Belarus minus 10. Mortality rate minus 10.7 on 1,000 people. An average value across the Brest region minus 12.8, across Republic of Belarus minus 12. On birth rate level in 2017, Baranovichi shared with Pinsk 11, the 12th places among 23 cities of the country with the population more than 50,000 people. On death rate minus 8, the 9th places. With Kobrin on the level of natural increase/decline in population. Plus 0. Minus 11, the 12th places. With Gomel. In 2006, 17.5% of the population were aged, younger, able-bodied. In 2011, 16.3%. In 2018, 18.1%. At working age in 2006 there were 63.1%, in 2011, 62.4%, in 2018, 58%. 19.4% of the population, in 2011, 21.3%, in 2018, 23.9% were aged, more senior, able-bodied in 2006. In 2017 in Baranovichi 1304 marriages were registered. 7.3 on 1,000 people. The highest rate in the Brest region. And 669 stains. 3.7 on 1,000 people. The highest rate in the area. The migration situation is characterized by instability of inflow and outflow of the population, therefore in separate years to Baranovichi move more often than leave to other regions and out of borders of the country. In other years there is a reverse situation. As of 2018/2019 academic year in Baranovichi, 1 general education lyceum, 5 gymnasiums, 15 high schools work. From preschool institutions, 41 day nursery gardens, 2 special kindergartens, 2 preschool centers of development of the child and the center of the correctional developing training and rehabilitation work.
The City Palace of Children's Creativity, the Ecological and Biological Center and the Center of Tourism and Study of Local Law work. In 2016/2017 academic year of 99. 9% of pupils of high schools of the city, 4 persons in Belarusian studied at Russian. In 2019/2020 academic year in the city, the 1 first class with training at Belarusian was organized. 3 institutions of vocational training work. Baranovichi State Professional College of Services Industry. Baranovichi State Professional Lyceum of Builders. Baranovichi State Professional Lyceum of Mechanical Engineering. Secondary vocational education in Baranovichi can be got in Economical and Legal College, Technological College of Balkuksuyuz, College of Light Industry, in Musical School. The higher education is presented by the Baranovichi State University, created according to the decree of the President of June 23, 2004.
At the university 5 faculties: Engineering, Faculty of Economy and Right, Faculty of Pedagogics and Psychology, Faculty of Slavic and German Languages and Faculty of Pre-University Preparation. An education at the university is got by more than 5,500 students. More than 360 teachers, among whom there are 8 doctors of science and professors, 52 candidate of science and the associate professor, more than 50 masters work at 28 departments of the university. The main transport in the city is the bus. At the moment 31 routes work in the city. Besides, the network of shared taxis of city and suburban value works in the city. In further prospect, carrying out trolleybus network and construction of the trolleybus park on Bodok Street, in the western part of the city is planned. Also in Baranovichi 2 passenger railway stations, Central and Policia, and several stations forming one of the railway junctions, largest in the country, are located. In Baranovichi on the 39th frequency channel, 618 match. In the DVFT standard broadcasting of a digital package, the first multiplex of the following television channels is made: Belarus 1, Belarus 2, Belarus 3, OT, CT, NTV Belarus, or Shriter Belarus, World. In the city of Baranovichi broadcast 15 radio stations. In Baranovichi several newspapers are issued. In Texpress, since 1994, the Social and Political Weekly. The Baranovichi Production Municipal Unitary Enterprise, integrated newspaper, Nashkray, since September 21, 1939. The centralized library system was created in 1978. In its structure, 7 libraries, including the Central City Library of 5 P. Tevlia, the Central Children's Library, 5 branches.
In structure of C's 3 stationary points of delivery and 1.
As of January 2012, the library stock of the city made copies. The Townhouse of Culture, Kirk Palace of Culture Baranovichi. The former Palace of Culture Tekstilshik. And other recreation centers are open for residents. Among citizens, national dancing ensembles, youth, Urotka, Lialki, ensembles of ballroom dances, Fiesta Vesma, ensembles of the variety dances, Roundabout, and Voyage, and dancing collectives enjoy popularity. The most titled Mazurek and cheerleaders of Holiday and Abrupt. The City Variety and Symphonic Orchestra often goes abroad on a tour. In Baranovichi a number of bands work. Among them there is a winner of the international competitions, the Contradans Group, renamed in Lichess subsequently. This collective is created in 1992 by graduates of the highest musical institutions of Belarus. The Baranovichi Museum of Local Lore. In 2016, 42960 Museum Objects of Fixed Assets, 53.4 thousand visits.
The Museum of Railway Equipment of the city of Baranovichi has more than 400 exhibits, among which there is a model of the railway station and the operating semaphore.
October Movie Theatre. In the downtown. Avesta Movie Theatre. In the former Officers Club. Healthcare and sport.
The healthcare system consists of 14 treatment and prophylactic institutions in which 3658 doctors and medics of an average length work.
About 45,000 children, medical care to which it is provided on the basis of the Baranovichi Children's City Hospital live in the city of Baranovichi and the Baranovichi district. For exercises and sport to services of Citizens Stadium, 4 closed and 4 mini pools, 54 gyms, 12 sports clubs, 23 shooting galleries. In the city 5 nurseries and junior sports schools work. The professional sport is presented by several clubs in different types of sport. The football club Baranovichi acts in the first league of the Championship of Republic of Belarus. Earlier I acted in the second league. In 14 first games of a draw of 2019 the team didn't win any victory and suffered 12 defeats. After opening of the ice arena in Baranovichi, the professional hockey club of the same name acting in Division B of the National Championship was created. The 6th place in 2018/2019. In the city there is also a women's team on field hockey of Textilship Bargu, acting at specialized stadium, Oak Sport B. In 2017 in the city 1411 crimes, a 787 in terms of 100,000 people. In Brest -765, in Pinsk -713 were registered, on average in area -774. In Baranovichi pre-trial detention centers no. Tapes and 1 correctional facility of the open type of Department of Execution of Punishments of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Republic of Belarus are located. Religion. St. Siegmundsby Church in Neo-Gothic style. 1996-2000. Pokrovsky Cathedral in Neoclassical style. 1921-1931. As of 2019 in Baranovichi about 5 Orthodox and Roman Catholic religious communities, 3 communities of Christians of belief evangelical. Pentecostals. On 1 community of Greek Catholic, Evangelical Baptist Christians, Christians of the Full Gospel, Seventh-day Adventist Church, New Apostolic Church, Jehovah's Witnesses, Traditional Judaism and Reform Judaism acted. Also Roman Catholic Monastic Community, Congregation of Sisters Missionaric of Holy Family Acts. Sites. Buildings of 19, the beginnings of the 20th centuries belonging to the Jewish community. Church of the Mother of God of Fatimskaya. Church Krestovozovansky. Wooden. 1924. Street. Zygmunt's Church. Troitsk Church. Museum of History of the Railroad. Monument to a Sparrow at October Movie Theater, 2003. The monument was established by a Republican public organization, Protection of Birds of Belarus, within the national campaign, House Sparrow, a Bird of 2003. In acknowledgement of the help from this bird in fight mines insects wreckers. Monument to the victims of epidemics of 1920-1923. Monument to the M270-30 locomotive on entry into the city. The memorable sign MiG-29 plane at gate of the 61st Air Base. Monument to the plane. MiG-19 PM on Voykov Street. Monument to the M710-30 engine at the railway station Baranovichi Policia. Cathedral Pokrovsky. Fire Depot. District Excise Administration on Frolinkov Street. 1902 of construction. The reconstructed drugstore on Telman Street. Adam Mikovich's estate in Zasi. Estate Royal. The 1870th years. Rozvadovsky Estate, Rozvadovo. Temple Protestant Christians of Seventh-day Adventist Church. St. Alexander Nevsky's Church. Church of St. Marbears. Church of the Saint Great Martyr Georges the Victorious.
In the downtown eternal flame in memory to the soldiers who died at release of the city of Baranovichi during World War II.
Memorial Complex, Natural Boundary Guy. In East Residential District of the city, this is -5 truck in memory of feats of soldiers motorists in days of the Great Patriotic War is set. Fire tanker truck of 8-40 on ZIL -157 base of 1962 of release. The monument is established on Kirov Street near Fire Rescue Brigade No. 3. The monument to soldiers gunners -76. Tomb the divisionals is -3 gun of a sample of 1942 is in the residential district, the second Trityaki.
It is also possible to remember that in the early 90s in Boulevard Borodinskogo in the northern residential district of the city, the framework of the R-12 ballistic missile as a disarmament symbol was established. On May 23, 1990 on Lasnaya military base near Baranovichi during implementation of the contract on elimination of airsm.
Mid and short-range missiles. Signed by the USA and the USSR in 1987, the USSR's last such rocket.
In 2006 the R-12 rocket, which stayed more than 15 years, was dismantled and transferred to the Minsk Museum, Stalin's line.
Was dismantled. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.